Welcome to the Browns Table. I'm your host, Craig Fountain, and we are here tonight for our victory lap. What a game today was. What exciting news this is. We're going to the playoffs. It's just so exciting, and it's been so long. I mean, I was a child the last time this happened. I want you guys to join me, though. The point of the Browns Table is it's a round table discussion for Browns fans. Anybody can join the show. You can find the link on the comments of the live stream on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, anywhere. Click that link, join the show. You can chat with us, hang out for 60 seconds, hang out for the duration of the show, whatever you'd like. But, today is all about celebration. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what this means to you. Before I go into bringing our first guest on, I want to announce that we have a new sponsor for the show. It is the B100 brand. So if you want some original Browns gear, you can easily buy on Amazon. Check out B100. My friends at B100.com, they have really cool custom Browns shirts and hoodies for the entire family. They've got professional illustrations to classic Cleveland dog pound gear. B100 is the ultimate gear for the ultimate fans. Be passionate, be loyal, B100. Check out their stuff at B100brand.com. That's BE100brand.com. And with that, I will bring in our first guest, that fat guy. You may know him from the illegal Ham to the Face podcast. That fat guy, thanks for joining the show. What does this win mean to you?
Playoffs, baby. That's all.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
It's exciting, isn't it? It's crazy.
All they had to do was win. And guess what? They won. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't flashy. They just had to win.
Absolutely. How'd you enjoy your day? How did you enjoy the game? Do you have any takes from the game? Anything you want to talk about in particular? What was so exciting about this?
So if everybody who does know me, I play pool on Sundays. And I shouted out on Twitter at Ham Illegal. I took a picture of us celebrating at our home bar, which is Mr. B's on 130th and Pearl. So if you get a chance, go out there, hit up Vic. Great place. I actually watched the first half at my house and then spent the halftime driving over to Pool League tonight. So I am here now in my driveway because I don't want to wake up my wife because she is going to be pissed if she realizes that, you
don't want to sour this kind of a day.
Asleep. So I got to keep it on the low note right now. But we were way off on our prediction. What we
just a little
31-17?
31-17, yeah.
Bad. It was nice to see, Baker do what he does. It was nice. Is People Jones okay? That's all I need to know. You got a little concussed, right?
Yeah, he's got a concussion, and I'm sure we'll be learning more. These guys all react to him differently. Hopefully we have him back for next week because we kind of missed him when he went out today.
Yeah, that was a wicked hit.
Absolutely.
That was a wicked hit.
Absolutely. But it was wicked. Are you surprised there wasn't a penalty called on that play?
And did I lose signal?
Might have lost signal. I'm going to go to our next guest, Barry Schroeder. How you doing, BJ?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's playoff. It's playoff time. We've waited so long for this. What better way to celebrate than with a cold Busch Light?
A Busch Latte. This is where it's at. But I talked to you earlier about something. I wanted to throw something out, and I see you talk to that fat guy about Donald People Jones. I'll touch on that here in a second. My thoughts.
Yeah.
But before we even get started, man, something's been really heavy on my heart today. I had a really great friend pass of COVID got him. The COVID-19 got him, and I never met this guy in person, but it's quite fitting that I'm on the internet talking to you because where I met this guy, and we've been friends probably 15 years. And he used to have a website back in the day called Browns247.com, and his name was Wayne Lett, and he had a lot of friends. His internet handle was Toondog, but he was the avid Browns fan, man, and he sat through all this shit since the Browns leaving, the red right, the fumble, everything. Them leaving, the learner stuff, the factory of sadness. He sat through every bit of it. And then, by God, he passed 2 weeks ago from COVID. And he doesn't get to witness this. And that bothers me. But this one's for you, Toon. Go Browns.
All right. And we hear that so many times. There's so many guys, we take the saying for granted even, and sometimes it even gets a little bit desensitized. So often we hear just one before I die. It's become a motto of sorts with the way the city works and the experiences we've had. And, as we navigate through this COVID world, unfortunately, many Browns fans have just fallen short. So it's nice to think of them. And hopefully we can enjoy some of this success in their remembrance. And BJ, I appreciate you sharing that. Just so you guys know, you can click the link in the comments. It's on all of our profiles, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope. Join the show, whether it's just for a minute or you want to hang out and talk Browns for a while. We're having Browns roundtable discussions. If you want to comment, we can show the comment. You can ask us questions. We can discuss your comment. Here's an example right here. So check that out. BJ, we watched this game today together, and we had quite a few observations. How did you feel at the beginning of this game and through the first quarter?
I thought it was in the bag, didn't we? You shut them down. We drove right down the field. Chubb did what Chubb does, scores a touchdown. Our next drive, we drive down the field, settle for a field goal. Next thing, it was 10-0 for even blink an eye. We're like, okay, it's good. And second quarter's coming up. Everybody knows what the Browns do in the second quarter. I thought it was in the bag. I started tipping some beers, and we started bullshitting and got a little close.
And there were certainly some interesting plays. It wasn't as decisive, I think, as we all wanted it to be. It was a little bit nerve-wracking. Now, with that being said, they had quite a few guys that were out. We had some guys that were out. Do you think that we were kind of holding some of it in the bag? Do you think we're kind of saving some for next week? Do you think we went out aggressively and went 100% on these guys? How do you feel about Stefanski's approach to this game when we were watching it?
I think we went 100% at times. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, me being a Browns fan, obviously I'm worried because we know what happens. Dwayne Ward's going to pull his he's going to pull his helmet off. We're going to lose the ball game.
Right.
That's what happens to the Browns. That's just how we do. But I this year's different. It's different. I'm not saying we're going to win a Super Bowl. We all know we're down some people. We don't have a secondary. Our secondary's banged up. We're down Odell. We're down linebackers. This team's not going to Super Bowl. We'll be honest. I'm pulling for them. By God, that's my goal. But I just think I trust Stefanski. I trust him. I feel like he made the right decision today. Like I feel like I think he was doing enough to win the game, but he also knows that he has to play this team. He's not stupid. I don't think you can count on one hand how many times this season you're like, why did we do that?
Absolutely. I hear you.
Why did we do that? Why? Well, probably because he knows more about football than we do. Let's be honest. And we were
right
probably wrong when we said that.
Exactly.
He's
a
smart coach. I think he's got it handled. I think we're going to give Pittsburgh a game next week. Baltimore blew us out the first game. We gave them a hell of a run. The second time, Pittsburgh blew us out the first time. We're going to give them a hell of a run. I'm just proud to be a Browns fan finally. I'm okay with that.
All right, let's welcome Brad Ward to the Browns table. How you doing, Brad?
I'm doing excellent. Hold on, I got something going on with my audio here. Let me fix this up.
Sure. We'll come right back to you in just a second. And we got a comment here. Big Shacks. Kevin held Chubb on the sideline for a lot of the third and fourth quarter, so I think he did save a lot. Brad, are you back now? Are we good? All right. So We'll work that out. I want Brad to address this. BJ, what do you think?
I might have missed a question.
Kevin Stefanski held out Chubb on the sideline for a lot of the third and fourth quarter. So Big Shax thinks that we did save some of our game plan for next week. Now, it's hard to get both Chubb and Hunt involved. Did we try too hard to get Hunt involved? Are we saving Chubb? We have a 1A and a 1B. There's a lot to read into here. What do you think?
You know, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. You know, what I think is what happened is I think Stefanski was just being Stefanski. You know, I feel like he liked the personnel, liked the matchups. He knew what the bigger picture was. And we all know that Kareem Hunt he's a top 15 running back in this league, and he was a top 5 running back in this league in his heyday. I'm not going to say in his prime because he's still young, but he's a good back. And I don't know, man. The problem is like I'm just so used to second guessing a coach that I'm a loss for words when it's time to do it now. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. All right, are we all hooked up, Brad?
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't even know what was going on. I heard two voices, and I realized I still had the YouTube from what I was watching you on the same browser.
Oh, I
so
gotcha.
was all screwed up. Yeah.
No worries.
It's like, what the hell's going on here? So what's up, guys?
So we're addressing this comment. Let me introduce you real quick.
Yeah.
Brad has the All Eyes on Cleveland podcast. You can check that out. That's usually on Wednesdays, correct, Brad?
Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday, usually whenever the guest can do it. Yeah, midweek.
And you're also a contributor for the USA Today Browns Wire, correct?
That's correct. We'll have a piece out. We'll have a piece out tomorrow for that too, for the playoffs.
All right. That's awesome. I'm glad you joined the show, Brad. I appreciate it. What do you think about this comment here? Big Shaq says Kevin held Chubb on the sideline for a lot of the third and fourth quarter, so I think he's saving some for next week. What are you seeing here?
I mean, I think that's pretty standard to what they do, though. They kind of go to Hunt as their closer a little bit in the fourth quarter. They've done that a lot. I don't think he held anything back today. I think it was whatever it takes. I really don't. I think they played it like a do-or-die game, like a playoff game. I don't think they played particularly well. There's a lot of questions that I have about personnel mainly. Basically, who are we going to get back? You know what I mean? So my concerns are certainly at cornerback where you have Denzel Ward. I don't think we'll get him back, right? Kevin Johnson, we should get back because he's a close contact. DPJ, concussion. That should have been a penalty. You asked that earlier. Definitely a penalty. Olivier Vernon, high ankle sprain. That's usually a couple weeks. So there's some concerning injuries when you got a running back with Pittsburgh next week. I'm glad it is Pittsburgh, though. I would rather face Pittsburgh certainly than Buffalo Bills, who dropped 56 on the Dolphins today.
Yeah, Buffalo scares me a bit. I'm okay with going up against Pittsburgh. Hopefully, and BJ and I were talking when we were watching the game, and there's times where you feel like they're holding back a little bit. At the same time, they have a play waiting there to dial up should they get in a do-or-die situation. Yeah, BJ, go ahead.
And, that I was going to touch on that earlier. It just seems like every time this game today we needed to make a play, we did it. It's almost, I feel like Stefanski had something in the bag. He had the play for the right call. Even if that fourth down conversion that we didn't hit, it was in the third quarter maybe. I forget what the receiver was, but it was a little
Higgins.
Higgins, yeah. But the play was there. The first down was there. All we had to do was make a better pass, make the catch, and it was there. Like we even had – I feel like Stefanski was one step away or one step in front the whole time. The only time we weren't was when Pittsburgh had the ball. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and as a follow-up, Big Shaq says we can get Ward back if it's a Sunday game. Hopefully that's the case, and DPJ should be okay going by his Twitter. And I actually wanted to bring that up. Speaking of DPJ, he is in good spirits, and this is, in my opinion, he had me and BJ here laughing. Brad, I don't know if you saw this. Tweet of the day. They asked if I knew where I was at. I said the playoffs. That was, in my opinion, the tweet of the day. and certainly cracked me up. He's definitely in good spirits. That was a scary hit. Brad, do you want to touch on a little bit why you think that was a penalty?
Yeah, I mean, I got to go here in a second, so let me hit on a couple of things with you real quick, and then I got to get out of here. My wife's coming home with food.
Thanks for joining the show, by the way.
Yeah, she's going to yell at me for being on here. I'm on here enough already, but I saw you on here, and I had to hop on. All right. Yeah, so thrilled about the playoffs. Yes, I thought it was a penalty. He lowered his head, hit him right in the middle of the back, and he was totally defenseless, right? Like, kind of Baker's fault, hung him out to dry with the high pass, but that's what the penalty is, right? When the guy's defenseless, it's a penalty. Clear cut in the rule book, should have been a flag, should have been 15 yards. Doesn't matter. They win the game. He's going to be okay. His injury, I don't know how he got a concussion out of that. He got hit in the back or the rib area, which is where I thought the injury was. But either way, he gets a concussion, maybe when he hit the ground. I'm not sure. As far as looking to next week, this is going to be an incredible week, awesome week, amazing for Cleveland, right? Everybody going to be celebrating, enjoying this playoff week, Victory Monday, all that stuff. I trust Stefanski. I think they put everything they had forward. Maybe they held back a little bit here and there, but really, I mean, when you're playing for the playoffs, you put it all on the line, right? So, but I trust him, though. He has so many... he's so aware of his own tendencies and things like that he'll be able to look at the tape and adjust off of the way they reacted to certain things and have little wrinkles here and there that he'll be able to put another nice game plan together for next Sunday. I trust in that. And as long as they can put another corner out there, if at least even Kevin Johnson on the outside, that's a huge advantage. Not that Robert Jackson played poorly, but they did pick on him a lot. And in another week with the offensive line healthy together, get back into a rhythm, I think we see a better run game next week as well.
All right, Brad, appreciate the input. Again, thanks for joining the show. Everybody check out the All Eyes on Cleveland podcast, and you can check out Brad's work on USA Today Browns Wire. Enjoy this night. We don't get these very often. Go Browns, right, Brad?
Go Browns, man. Feeling it, baby. Not the same old Browns anymore, baby. Not the same old Browns anymore.
Outstanding. Have a good night. Enjoy this one, Brad.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right. If anybody wants to join the show, just like Brad did, you can. Click the link. It's on all the social media profiles. I put it in the comments of the live stream, so you can join. If you don't want to show your face, you can upload a photo or just go photoless and just share your mic, not the camera. If you're camera shy, that's okay too. Come on the show and chat Browns with us. It's Victory Sunday. We're making the playoffs. This, like I just said, this never happens. Let's enjoy this. Real quick before we move on, if you want some original Browns gear, you can easily buy on Amazon. Check out B100. My friends at B100brand.com. They have really cool custom brown shirts and hoodies for the whole family. And they have everything from professional illustrations to classic Cleveland Dog Pound gear. B100 is the ultimate gear for ultimate fans. And be passionate, be loyal, B100. Check out their stuff at B100brand.com. That's BE100brand.com. And we're going to show off some gear later this week from them. In honor, though, they sent me this new design. Check it out. I'm going to be investing in this design. We got the dog bone that says Pittsburgh in the dog's mouth. They were excited to launch this after today's win, so I wanted to share that with you. And I'll be showing you some of the gear later this week, like I said. Join the show. We want to talk Browns with you. BJ, let's go to the second half of this ball game. How nervous did you get?
Really nervous. Well, I was nervous, but I wasn't Browns nervous. It was weird. Even at that 2-point conversion, I was still confident because I knew that, even with Pittsburgh, if they would have converted that, our offense was healthy. And like you said before, I think it was the pod we talked during the Ravens game. Whenever you talked about you had complete confidence that Baker was going to drive the ball down the field, I had that confidence today that even if Pittsburgh drive this up, I'm like, okay, we're going to drive the ball down the field. You know what my concern was? Cody Parkey.
Cody Parkey. Certainly.
I was concerned. I'm like, we got to get it close for Cody to kick it in because I didn't tell you. I was like, that kicker today for Pittsburgh, He's their practice squad kicker, and if he can kick. Let's go get him.
Definitely. All right. We had some comments from Big Shax. I want to bring Big Shax onto the show. It looks like you're muted there. Let's get you unmuted. There we go. How you doing, Big Shax?
Hey, good. How are you?
Doing outstanding. What do you want to bring to the table for us today?
So I was just going to talk about that hit on DPJ a little bit more.
Absolutely. Go for it.
Yeah, so we saw that same, not exactly the same scenario, but we saw the same hit in the Clemson game, if you guys watched that at all. And it was, easily a penalty. And somehow the college refs got it right, and the NFL's ones didn't. I don't understand how the NFL each week just somehow either maybe not just us, but screws somebody in the middle of a game.
Yeah, and it was interesting, this hit. I mean, he got hit in the back. It certainly looked like the guy led with his helmet. Do you think that, in this, we kind of get into some of the nuances of the rules here, right? You start looking at, is this a defenseless receiver? Is it leading with a helmet? Like, what do you think the call should have been here, Big Shax?
I think he was definitely defenseless, and you also see at towards the end of the play, maybe this part's tic-tac, but they also grabbed his face mask. But I think he was definitely at least defenseless, if nothing else.
Definitely. I certainly agree. I can't believe that play wasn't flagged, and I certainly hope he's all right. It was ugly. He got hit in the back. Certainly he had to have gotten that concussion from the fall because he didn't get hit in the head, and he didn't look too good laying on the ground. He had us scared there for a minute. But as we mentioned before, he seems to be in good spirits. Big Shax, do you have anything else you want to bring to the table?
Yeah, just one last thing I wanted to get your guys' opinions on.
Sure.
I know obviously right now we're thinking about playoffs, but next year, I know in the beginning of the year, we were all talking about who's going to replace Vernon. At least a lot of that was the thought, but now he's a monster out there with Garrett on the other side, and definitely got to bring him back. But I just want to get your guys' opinions on that situation.
I'm gonna go first on this one, BJ, and Big Shax. Appreciate you coming on the show. We hope you join us again. We appreciate you joining. Anybody can join like Big Shax. Now, as far as Olivier Vernon go, he's 30. He's in a contract year. We've had some up and downs. We're certainly in a high point right now. So 30. We've seen a lot of linebackers produce over the age of 30. I think that. I don't think age is too much of an issue here. I really like the way he fits into this defense. I think that he's outstanding, and for the right money, that's going to be the biggest question, I think, is for the right money, it would be great to have him back. He's making a lot of money right now. I want to say it's $11 or $12 million a year. I don't know if he's going to be worth that moving forward. I don't know what his market value is. BJ, what do you think here? Is it about the money? Do we want him back no matter what? Do we need a hometown discount? Do we pay whatever the market value is? What do you think?
So I feel like you got three factors when it comes to Olivier Vernon. You have the money, you have his injury history, and you have what he can do. So you have three things. We know if you sit there and you look at it, let's go black and white. Like, hey, Craig, if you're the GM of the Cleveland Browns, you pay $10 million a year for somebody that's going to play every game and sack the quarterback 10 times. Yeah, I'm going to pay that.
Right.
But he doesn't play every game. He had a really good run toward the second half of the season. We said, 9 sacks since like week 8 or something like that, you said?
Since week 8. He had no sacks through week 8, and he's had, I believe he got his 9th in this game.
Yeah. So, but the biggest hit on Vernon and why New York let him go was because he's always injured. Was injured a lot last year, was injured toward the beginning of this year. He got healthy. Played strong. He's great when he's healthy. He's great at getting to the quarterback. He's great. He's a premier pass rusher. He's got the talent for that. There's no disputing that. But can he stay healthy? Well, now he's got another high ankle sprain. Was that what he had this year? No, he had a abdominal injury, I think. Right.
Yeah, it was abdominal, I believe.
Yeah. So, but how's it good? So, what is it? He's out next week. He's out the playoffs. We don't see him again. The rap sheet's going to be on him is going to be the same thing. The only people that's going to overpay for him are the people or the teams that are needing to fill a gap and needing to fill, trying to make leaps and bounds. They're going to take a gamble on him, pay him some money. I think he's going to get a contract offer that we're not going to be able to pay. I mean, he's going to get $12, $13 million a year. We're going to be like, what are we giving Garrett? 14, 15?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
We're not going to put that in a quarterback or on a defensive end. It's going to be 8 to 10 games a year. We're not going to do it. So I don't think he'll be back. I'd like to see. He did take a pay cut this year to stay here, though.
Yeah, he did restructure. So maybe we get a little bit of a hometown discount, especially.
Maybe if that's the case. But the thing is, if we can pay him $10 million a year to come back, I'd be for it.
Right.
I'd be for it because he wants to be a Brown. He wants to be here. He can get after the quarterback. I'm okay with that.
Some of this is going to be dependent on, I think, how he performs this postseason.
I don't know what's him.
And this is going to be a big topic in the offseason. We're going to stick around and try to do as much of these shows as possible in the offseason. We're going to be talking a lot about this defense because we have a ton of guys that are free agents, and they're mostly on defense, and a lot of them were on one-year deals. They were on prove-it deals, and we gotta see what kind of cap situation we're in. The cap's likely going to be lowered, so you have all these other teams that are going to have to sacrifice really good players. So it might not just be about Olivier Vernon. It might be about another guy. Let me ask you this, BJ. Man, where do we put money at the defensive end like Vernon, or do we go try to sink some serious money into probably some upgrades at linebacker? And do you think that that's the direction that Andrew Berry's going to want to go?
No, I think our linebacking corps are okay. I think we need to draft somebody there. I'm a firm believer that you spend money in the trenches, offensive, defensive line. That's where I think you spend the money. Look at Pittsburgh. Where do they spend their money?
Yeah.
You mean outside of Roethlisberger? They didn't give Le'Veon Bell anything. And he was what he is. We talked earlier. They don't bring a receiver back ever unless his name's Hines Ward. Paul Malo was on a couple contracts, but they spend their money on their defensive line. And did Hayward just get a big contract?
I believe so. And
I think they just spent some money on him. That's where it's at, man. That's where you win the ball game in the trenches. And I want to see him spend there. And I'm okay with Vernon coming back unless we got somebody else. Like you said, it may not be about Vernon. Maybe about somebody else comes available. Might be better about a better bargain, money spent better. But I've got no issue with the Vernon coming back at the right price. I really don't. My biggest concern is the secondary. The one thing that was encouraging, we was talking about that tweet earlier from Grady Williams. I wrote him off. Nerve injuries are hard to come back from. It's not like you can just fucking put a screw in a bone, put it back together, give it 6 to 8 weeks, they go at it. Nerves are nerves. Electroactivity, there's electrical impulses and all that bullshit in there that we just don't know anything about as humans. But if Grady Williams can come back, that really shores up our secondary, especially with Delpit and Harrison. And I'm really worried about our secondary. That's for some reason, that's where my nerves are with this. No pun intended, but maybe it'll be all right. I just feel like we're counting on somebody, and I know it's completely two different related injuries. But remember the whole Gary Baxter situation years ago?
Yeah, that was disheartening. That was both ACLs and both MCLs, right?
One play.
On one play.
Like if that's not the most Browns things ever. Lose so yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know why I'm leery over it, but I am. Because it's just a Browns fan, I'm gonna put through the ringer. I look for the worst.
Here's the reason I bring that up, because that's what I have my eye on in the postseason this year. That's going to be, I think, our biggest hurdle. We've proven time and time again that we can score points. We can chase points. Look at the game with Baltimore. That's the perfect example. We don't want to get in those situations. And even though we can do it, the defense makes it a whole lot easier for success if we're not giving up 35, 40, 45 points. And we're going to get into some matches with some teams that can score those kind of points. Now, we kind of have to reset our expectations. Since 2002, it's been get to the playoffs, right? Well, we're here now. We have to reset our expectations. If you make the playoffs, you should have expectations, in my opinion, to make the Super Bowl. If you can get to the playoffs, you have to have the expectation that you can get to the Super Bowl. There's one or two teams that scare me in the AFC, but I'm excited to see how this shakes out. And, we'll see how that is moving forward. But right now, my expectations reset, and I think yours should be too. We need to go to the Super Bowl. BJ, we're going to close out here. Anything you want to leave us with?
Yeah. So I'm gonna pull this up. Hope you guys can see this, just because I'm not technical as Craig. But I did basically Stefanski's speech, touching on what you just said about your goals in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Do you see Stefanski's speech at in the locker room?
I caught part of it, but not the whole thing.
I am proud of you, okay? I got to say something, though. Was the goal ever just to go to the playoffs? Yes, sir. You got more in you? Yes, sir. I'm going to need it. AP, where's that? Right. Joe Paterno, get you.
So, two things I take from that is obviously the want for more. But did you see that team standing around him? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That tells me they believe in him and they're going to fight for him. And I see it on the cadences with Baker, trying to draw people. When Baker's trying to draw people off sides, we don't jump off sides. They're a very disciplined team, and you've seen that in that circle. It was very much they were attentive. They were listening to what he said, and it was, yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. This team's ready to go. And they're buying in. But no, his goal is not the playoffs. And that's not the Browns' goal either. So that's just a touch on what you said.
All right. So we're going to close out with that. The Browns table is Browns Roundtable Discussions. Anybody can join. This was an impromptu episode, a victory lap of sorts, a post-game show, whatever you want to call it. We had fun. Thanks for everybody that joined us, for everybody that commented. We're going to be live Tuesday at 7 for our scheduled show. We have some great guests coming on, lots of stuff to talk about. You can call in, you can video chat with us, you can do audio only. Keep an eye out for those links, and we will be announcing our giveaway winner. Now, the giveaway for those of you that haven't seen it yet, $100 cash, Grant Delpit autograph rookie card, number 10 of 25. There's only 25 out there in the world. On YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel for an entry. On Facebook, you can share this video and like our Facebook page. And on Twitter, you can retweet this video and follow us. Each of these is an entry, max of free. We'll be announcing that on Tuesday at 7. You have time. Appreciate everybody that's watching. Appreciate everybody that joined the show. Until next time, go Browns.